Hello there. Most people assume the limits in their life are practical. Not enough time, not enough resources, not enough capability. But often the real limit sits somewhere else. In this video, we're going to explore belief barriers, because sometimes the barrier isn't physical, it's psychological. For years, the 4-minute mile was considered impossible. Doctors believed the human body simply could not run that fast. Athletes trained for decades and no one broke it. Then in 1954, Roger Bannister ran a mile in 3 minutes 59 seconds. And something strange happened. Within a few years, many other runners did it too. The human body had not changed, belief had. Belief barriers shape behaviour long before we notice them. Most people assume performance limits are physical. Bodies have limits, training has limits. Performance eventually plateaus. That explanation feels sensible, doesn't it? But if the limit was purely physical, why did so many runners suddenly break the 4-minute mile after Bannister did? The physiology had not changed, the belief had. For years, runners approached the 4-minute barrier like this. 4 minutes and 1 second. 4 minutes. Again and again they came close, but they didn't break it. The barrier became a shared belief, and shared beliefs quietly organise behaviour. Identity ceilings grow out of belief barriers. When a belief becomes strong enough, it becomes part of identity. Below the identity ceiling, growth feels exciting. We can experiment, we stretch, we try things. But once progress pushes beyond the identity ceiling we currently hold, something inside us hesitates. Not because ability disappears, but because success beyond that point would require becoming someone new, someone more visible, someone carrying greater responsibility, someone exposed to more uncertainty. Identity ceilings are rarely obvious. They appear as hesitation. Protective behaviour often appears when identity ceilings are reached. From the outside, the behaviour can look confusing. People delay decisions, they complicate things, they step back from momentum. It can look like a lack of discipline, but often the behaviour is protective because our nervous system is designed to manage uncertainty. It constantly scans for risk, for exposure, for change. And when it senses uncertainty, it moves to protect us. That protection rarely looks dramatic, it shows up quietly. So we let the work expand, momentum slows, decisions stretch out. Self-sabotage rarely feels like sabotage, it feels reasonable. Working with self-sabotage begins with recognition. The instinctive reaction is often criticism. Why am I procrastinating? Why am I overthinking this? Why can't I just get on with it? But self-criticism usually strengthens the protective response. A more useful response is simpler. Spot the behaviour, notice the delay, notice the complication or the retreat, and name what your mind might be protection. Is it reputation, certainty, or that identity? Thank the part of you that's trying to keep you safe, because that instinct exists for a reason, and then choose the next courageous move anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is movement with fear present. The runners who eventually broke the 4-minute mile were not physically different from those before them. They simply lived in a world where the barrier had disappeared. Belief barriers shape behaviour long before we notice them. But once we see them, they begin to lose their power. And that raises a useful question. If belief barriers shape behaviour, what actually changes those beliefs? What allows someone to step beyond the identity that they've been holding on to? Because that is where the next part of this conversation begins.